What's up everyone, this is Tony with JRNY Crypto. So in this video, we're going to be going over why I believe the crypto market is ready to explode. A lot of things have been happening over the past couple of weeks that lead me to believe it's very likely to happen by end of year. I do believe it's even possible in the next couple of weeks here, but I believe by end of year, we're going to be seeing Bitcoin break $100,000 for the first time, and a lot of altcoins picking up and going parabolic as well. I really think a lot of mass adoption and new retail investors are about to come into the space. I have a lot of stuff I do want to show you guys as well that does support this. So if you've been paying attention, things have been pretty boring in the crypto space since the beginning of the year when we had all the Bitcoin ETF approvals, new Bitcoin all-time high. Everything was super bullish at the beginning of the year with the Bitcoin halving coming and everything. Now we're after the halving, and it has been quite a while. It gets more bullish by the day, and historically September is the worst month for crypto. I have some crazy stuff to talk about with that as well, but it is getting more bullish by the day, and I do believe we're getting very close to a huge breakout in the crypto space with huge retail adoption. So if we do check the Bitcoin chart, the 1 year here, we see Bitcoin did peak in early March here around $73,000, going up and down since then, but not really breaking below $50,000, holding pretty strong considering where things were at after those ETFs. I really think all that volume coming in from the ETFs, BlackRock, MicroStrategy, and all of these huge whales buying massive amounts of Bitcoin has helped keep it steady and strong much more than it would have. I think this would have broken down to around $30,000 if we didn't have those ETFs and all these companies buying and holding that buying pressure and support. So we can see it was on a steady decline here, but the recent pump that we did have to around $64,000 Bitcoin, I think is looking really good. And I do believe we are getting close to a breakout, especially since historically September is one of the worst months for cryptocurrency. So we can see Bitcoin is days away from closing its best performing September ever. September is usually the worst month for Bitcoin. So that's bullish in itself. Bitcoin has closed in the green 6 days in a row now. A green close today would mark Bitcoin's longest streak since February. And that's around the time when we did have those Bitcoin ETF approvals. So things are getting more bullish now, and leading into October end of year and all these other bullish things happening. Every day that goes by is another day after the Bitcoin halving as well. And historically, when we do look at that, we should be getting closer to a parabolic move in the cryptocurrency space. So another bullish thing here, the US Fed cuts interest rates by 50 BPS for the first time in over 4 years. Extremely bullish, and we're seeing that for the stock market as well. The S&P 500 hits new all-time highs following the Fed interest rate cuts, and of course the crypto space tends to follow the stock market as well. So with election season here and the stock market doing well, of course crypto is going to be doing well in addition to that. And then we have we're after the Bitcoin halving. We haven't had a huge move yet. We have the ETFs, all these companies buying. Lots of very bullish things happening here for Bitcoin. So something else extremely bullish in my opinion, as you guys know, MicroStrategy has been buying and acquiring as much Bitcoin as possible since before the last bull market. They haven't sold a single Bitcoin. All they've been doing is acquiring more. The only company that's really doing this so far, like in the last bull market, I stated, if there is other companies doing this, just 5 companies doing this, that would be enough buying support to really push us past the $100,000 Bitcoin. It didn't happen in the last bull market. We had Tesla buy a large amount, but no other large companies really acquired these large amounts. And Tesla also sold some Bitcoin. They didn't acquire more since then, but MicroStrategy has held strong, and they've really reaped the benefits from that, which we're about to talk about. So MicroStrategy, I believe they have some evidence and data that shows we're about to have a parabolic move in the space because of how much Bitcoin they're starting to acquire. So just about 10 days ago, MicroStrategy acquired an additional 18,300 Bitcoin for $1.11 billion at an average of $60,400 per Bitcoin. And it doesn't end there. MicroStrategy acquired another 7,420 Bitcoin worth around $450 million, now holding a total of 252,220 Bitcoin worth around $16 billion. So this is insane. This was a few days ago. So just 1 week apart, they have acquired about $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin in addition to what they already had. They're already sitting on over $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. They don't need to acquire more, but they're just going as hard as possible. It's because they believe in this and they have a very long-term outlook for this, which is very smart. And this has not only benefited them in the price of Bitcoin going up, but it's also making this MicroStrategy company worth a lot more as well. Michael Saylor just posted this yesterday. Any individual, family, company, or country can copy MicroStrategy and enjoy the same outperformance with Bitcoin. So we can see top 10 performing stocks in the S&P 500. MicroStrategy is first, outperforming NVIDIA 1,070%. That MicroStrategy is up, and that's mostly just because they've been acquiring so much Bitcoin. They believe in it. Bitcoin has done so well for them. So of course, MicroStrategy is stock is doing extremely well, also outperforming Bitcoin. So this is insane to see, and this is huge in my opinion, because other companies are going to see this. Everyone's going to see this really, and there are going to be people that follow. And I do believe that's going to start picking up very soon. Maybe that's why MicroStrategy is already acquiring a lot more Bitcoin, because they're aware that other companies have started doing this as well. And they really want to lock in as much more Bitcoin as they can before we have that huge breakout by end of year. So extremely bullish in itself, showing that MicroStrategy has acquired another $1.5 billion worth, and that their stock is doing so well. Also, imagine if Tesla had copied MicroStrategy and continued dollar cost averaging like MicroStrategy did, they'd probably be on this list as well. So I want to go over some stuff with the Bitcoin ETFs and BlackRock as well, some really bullish stuff. Spot Bitcoin ETF saw 263 million in volume last Friday, its best day in nearly 2 months. That's definitely good to see and boosts confidence. So we also had Larry Fink go on television and state that he was wrong about Bitcoin. He is the CEO of BlackRock, managing $13 trillion in assets, admits he was wrong. And of course, we have all of these different companies every day after the Bitcoin halving. We're going into election season, stock market doing well. Everything is getting extremely bullish, but having the CEO of BlackRock pushing Bitcoin like this is insane. I want to do a separate video on BlackRock and Warren Buffett and why I believe something huge is about to happen there as well that can really make the entire crypto space blast off. I do believe something is happening there. I'm going to be doing a separate video on that. So just in, SEC has approved options for BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF, IBITs. So more bullish stuff for BlackRock. And then we have another thing on BlackRock. They released a 9-page white paper on how Bitcoin is a hedge against fiscal, monetary, and geopolitical risks. This is huge in my opinion as well. They're really trying to not only get Bitcoin out there and raise awareness, but also educate people. And being this big on Bitcoin, you know that's extremely bullish. Basically, they're stocked up. They're pushing it now. Every day after the Bitcoin halving gets more bullish. So things are just looking great in general. We also had Donald Trump making the first Bitcoin transaction ever by a president of the United States. That is huge. So that was big. Just a lot of talk about Bitcoin and crypto with election season going on as well, which is also bullish. We also had Donald Trump state NFTs changed his opinion on cryptocurrency. So we know Donald Trump has launched a few NFT collections now. He had some trading cards with utility, being able to have a dinner with him and stuff. He just released another one of these NFT collections that sold out. And because he was able to accept cryptocurrency for these NFTs for payments, and it made that easier, and he saw how many people actually paid with the cryptocurrency, it really opened his mind to cryptocurrency since he was in office last time. So that's pretty huge as well, since NFTs are so small in comparison to the cryptocurrency right now. The fact that Donald Trump is saying that NFTs changed his opinion on cryptocurrency, and that's why he's so supportive of crypto now, is pretty bullish in my opinion. Also, his family is launching their own platform. They're getting into DeFi and stuff, so that's huge as well. We also have Kamala Harris now stating that she's going to encourage crypto innovation in the US. And this actually pumped her numbers a little bit. So it is good to see both candidates supporting cryptocurrency, because now they're going to be debating it and really talking about it more as well. She hasn't really said too much about it yet, but it is good to see that she's actually going to be encouraging crypto innovation. I'd like to see what she has to say about that, though, in a video. But regardless, this is spreading adoption of cryptocurrency and it's raising awareness. It will be greatly increasing the amount of retail investors in the space over the next couple months, since of course they're going to talk about it a lot more. So Plan B, he always has great charts and everything on Twitter. Do recommend following him. He posted a couple bullish things here. Only 27 months in the last 13 years generated all Bitcoin gain. 2013, 17, 2020, and 2021. Don't miss the next leg up. No upside if you missed these 27 months. So very bullish. We are getting close in terms of historical data. Another one here, the yellow periods are boring. Bitcoin does not move. It's all about the short periods in between. Again, stating 2013, 17, 2020, basically the peaks of every bull market after each Bitcoin halving. Now we're well after the last Bitcoin halving we just had, and we are getting close to that time period where we should be seeing a huge move for Bitcoin, breaking $100,000 for the first time. Very likely to be happening by end of year with everything that's happening, just getting so bullish in general. So those are the fundamental price moves. Don't miss the next move. Very likely to happen by end of year. Lark Davis posted as well. It's been 151 days since the Bitcoin halving. In the 2020-2021 cycle, Bitcoin moved sideways for 160 days after the halving before going parabolic. Will history repeat itself? So we are getting close to that time period where we should be seeing a breakout and all these other things to support that as well that are bullish. I did say Plan B state as well that it's only going to take one bullish event to really make this skyrocket, and that's kind of what I want to talk about in that video I mentioned with BlackRock, Warren Buffett, and Berkshire Hathaway. I believe something very bullish is going to be happening by end of year. Besides that, Standard Chartered Bank's head of digital asset research predicts Bitcoin could reach $200,000 by the end of 2025, so just a little over a year. Seeing Bitcoin doing over a 3x, pretty huge. Starting to see a lot more stuff like that coming out. Singapore's largest bank announced Bitcoin and crypto options trading. That's huge as well. Just more adoption, more accessibility to the space is always good to see. So the ETH Bitcoin ratio is now at its lowest point since April of 2021, which was pretty much around the peak of the last bull market. So ETH has actually done pretty well since this post in the last few days. It has had a decent recovery, but because Solana is doing so well with the low transaction fees and quick transaction times, and we're seeing a lot of alternatives to Ethereum starting to come up as well. We've seen different blockchains like Sui doing really well, up 50% here. You guys can see on the 7-day, and other blockchains as well just doing great. Optimism, Arbitrum, just a lot of new innovation in the space that's allowing for new blockchains to develop and give people those extremely low transaction fees, which is good for Ethereum as well. We don't want massive congestion on Ethereum. We want it to be spread out between different blockchains, because that allows Ethereum to have the low gas fees and quicker transaction times. We don't want all of the volume in the space being on Ethereum alone. So the competition is good in my opinion, but I think it's also hurting it in terms of price, because a lot of people are focused on Solana and alternative options. So that's pretty much it for this video. I want to do a quick update on all the bullish stuff happening right now, why I believe a huge breakout is coming. I really wanted to get this video out there before I do other videos I have planned. I am going to be doing a guide on Solana and all the meme coin trading and stuff, how to use pump.fun, and how to really get into the trenches and stuff, since we're seeing some crazy stuff happening there, and I believe that's going to be happening on other blockchains as well. We're really prepared for that, and our team has been in the trenches and seeing some crazy stuff happening. So lots of stuff to come, but I just wanted to get this one out there before I start putting out these other videos. Like I said, I do have a video planned. I do believe something huge is coming and going to be happening very soon. That is going to be the trigger needed to make Bitcoin break $100,000, and very likely we won't be seeing prices of Bitcoin around $50,000 to $60,000 again, which is why MicroStrategy is just acquiring as much as they can right now. Another $1.5 billion they just bought in the last 10 days. So pretty bullish in my opinion. Once it does break out, it's going to happen quickly, like that Plan B chart did state. Only 27 of the months out of the last 13 years. So unless you bought before those breakouts, then you very likely didn't make great profits. So that's why I'm really pushing this video out there, because I do believe we are close to one of these months that do make a huge difference in the space. Definitely think that's happening by end of year, but it is looking like October is going to be huge also. We have no exact date when this is going to happen, but we can get a better idea of when we're getting closer to it, which every day that goes by is getting much closer. And now all this other bullish stuff happening, I think we're very close. Historic data as well. After the Bitcoin halving, election season, the stock market hitting all-time highs, MicroStrategy doing so well, BlackRock pushing this so hard, different companies and whales continuing to accumulate large amounts of Bitcoin. It is looking very bullish in the space right now, and I do believe that breakout is coming. Very possible we move sideways a little bit longer, but like I said, every day that goes by gets more bullish and less likely that you are going to be able to catch the breakout. So that is important as well. When the crypto space does break out, it really breaks out, and you don't want to be buying after the breakout. You want to be buying before, which we are here right now. So ideally you would be dollar cost averaging since the beginning of the year or even longer. That's my long-term strategy in the space. I'm a very long-term believer in cryptocurrency and blockchain, and I have been dollar cost averaging since pretty much early 2017. And that has worked out great for me, and it reduces a lot of the stress in the space. Also, just trying to jump in and out and make a lot of money like that is pretty difficult to do. Usually only the veterans are able to do that. So having a good exit and entry strategy is very important. I've talked about that a lot in the past. You can check previous videos. I have a couple detailed guides on that type of stuff. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys found it useful, and I will be doing more very soon. Be sure to be subscribed and hit the bell if you want to be notified. Also follow me on Twitter. I am doing different posts here, and you can get updates on different breaking news and stuff. You could also follow blocknews.com. We have breaking news here as it's happening pretty much every single day. We also have the news website for that at blocknews.com. So that's it for the video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.